Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
Welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. For right here, the audience tuning in at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com. We're glad that you all can be with us. Also tuning in to our online affiliates around the world, including our friends at iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcasts. We're glad you all could be with us as well. Well, I don't have to tell you what's going on in just a couple of days. March is the time to spring forward, signifying the changing seasons and the opportunity to have a positive attitude and, believe it or not, a fresh start. Joining us today is Dr. Mike Dow. He's a renowned psychologist and a best-selling author. He's going to talk to us not only about how you can be able to start taking advantage of this time to refresh, but also some ways that we can be able to start when it comes to moving forward and making the most of our days. Dr. Dow, really appreciate the time today. Thanks a lot for stopping by.
Thanks for having me, Cyrus.
So this is one of the topics that you talk about quite a bit, Dr. Dow, including with your book, Think, Act, and Be Happy. So why is March a good time for us to kind of refresh and to try to have a more positive attitude?
Yeah, so as I say in this book, spring is a great time to spring forward into happy, healthy habits, right? So every time we make a new memory, we are bettering our brain. When we challenge ourselves, we're helping to make new connections. And as I said recently on Kelly and Ryan, sitting on the couch is not going to help you to do that, right? So the key is really all about the action.
And I think that's where so many people have the problem, Dr. Dow. You know, I think we identify these things for ourselves, but then it's like, okay, yes. So now what do we do? So I guess an obvious question would be, where's a good place to start when we're thinking about springing forward?
Start in your bedroom. Why? Your bed is where you spend a third of your life, right? And Cyrus, we know that the adult brain needs 8 hours of good and restful sleep to function optimally. So you want to turn off those devices an hour before bedtime. You want to make sure that your bedroom is as dark as possible, or use a sleep mask, and also very quiet. And also, I recommend to refresh your sleep routine with luxurious and fairly priced bamboo sheets and blankets from Bedsure, because Bedsure has bamboo that is naturally cooling. And get this, when your body temperature drops, it actually helps you to fall asleep and stay asleep. Bedsure sheets are also hyperallergenic, and now through the end of March, you can enjoy 20% off the Bedsure bamboo sheet sets and their blankets on Amazon.
Wow. You know, Dr. Dow, this is so funny we're having this conversation. I actually am one of the on-air personalities for Amazon Live, and Bedsure is one of the brands that we showcase a lot on there.
Oh, right.
as well, so you're right. Yeah, they have a lot of great products, and so I'm so glad to hear you say that. So, you know, as we're kind of going from one season to the other, you know, it can sometimes definitely have an impact on us. Do you have any recommendations, Dr. Dow, for shaking off the winter blues?
Yeah, so we know we've all been cooped up, it's been cold, so now get out there, expose yourself to some sunlight and see new cities. But of course, with a lot of people worried about the economy, make it a budget-friendly trip. It can be just around the corner with Motel 6. I like Motel 6 because they have 1,400 locations across North America, and if you become a My6 Rewards member, you'll gain access to hundreds of promotions, Cyrus. They're clean, they're comfortable, they're affordable. You can see this great country of ours, and as somebody who loves traveling with my dog, Emmett, I love that pets stay free at all Motel 6s.
Wow, that's another great tip for our audience for sure. So I think, you know, as we are going to be, you know, moving forward, springing forward now, Dr. Dow, I think a lot of times, you know, we all are trying to make adjustments. Do you have any advice when it comes to adapting to changes in the time?
I do, Cyrus. So it's great that we get that extra hour of sunlight at night, but guess what? It also means that your body is producing less of its own melatonin at night, because the brain signals when and how much melatonin to produce based on that sunlight. That's why for this time change coming up, I recommend 10 milligrams of a melatonin gummy by Natrol, the leading sleep, mood, and stress supplement. They'll trigger that natural sleep-wake cycle so that you can fall asleep faster, sleep longer, and wake rested and get back on track after this time change. You can find them online or at retailers, and Natrol sleep gummies are under $12 at Walmart, Walgreens, and Target.
Dr. Dow mentioned in my introduction you're a psychotherapist as well as being able to share some great advice in your books, like I mentioned earlier, Think, Act, and Be Happy, as well as Brain Fog Fix. So I want to ask you about creating a more positive attitude. I think our attitude definitely impacts everything that we do and the way that we look at ourselves and the world. Any advice for how we can create a more positive attitude in our lives?
It does. So what I tell people in these books is the way you look at the world and your life is almost like a habit, right? So if you're in the habit of being pessimistic, you're more likely to stay pessimistic. But if you can find one thing every day, or if you can look in the mirror and say what's right instead of focusing on the what's wrong, you can go a long way in creating optimism and create that as your new habit this spring.
Love that. Great advice, as always, Dr. Dow. Again, everyone, Dr. Mike Dow has been our guest. He's a psychotherapist and best-selling author, helping you guys as we're springing forward to also, of course, be able to create a more positive attitude and a fresh start for yourself. Dr. Dow, where can our audience go for more information?
For more tips and more info, go to tipsontv.com.
All right. We'll make sure that we link that up for our audience. Again, thank you again for the time. Really appreciate it. Looking forward to speaking with you again.
Thanks. Me too, Cyrus.
All right. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live, and let's go make today amazing. Take care.